So, what happens when it all falls apart? Scarcity, chaos. What do we actually become? Today, we're diving into two novels that kick off from that exact nightmare, but they give us two radically different answers for who we are when everything we know is just gone. And that's really the question at the heart of this whole thing. We're going to look at two powerful stories about ecological collapse, and they show us two possible futures. Do we learn to, listen to the world in a totally new way? Or do we turn on each other in the most horrific way you can possibly imagine?
On one hand, you've got the Salt Meridian. It's a future where people figure out the planet is basically a living, breathing thing, and our only shot at survival is to partner up with it. And then, on the other hand, there's the body harvests, a world where society just legally processes human bodies into products. Yeah. Both stories start from scarcity, but man, their paths could not be more different.
All right, so let's get into the biggest, most fundamental difference here. What is the world itself? Is the Earth a living partner, something we can actually communicate with, or is it just a pile of dead stuff for us to use? This one philosophical split, it defines, literally, everything that comes after.
This line right here, from the Salt Meridian, it's the key to the whole book. The Earth isn't trying to be nice, and it's not trying to be a monster. It's just a massive biological system with its own rules. So humanity's job isn't to conquer it, it's to understand and adapt. Almost like you're learning the language of a completely different creature. Now contrast that with this line from the body harvests. I mean, talk about chilling. It's the complete opposite. In this universe, everything is fundamentally dead. There's nothing sacred, no special value to anything. It's all about utility. People, animals, the planet itself, it's all just raw material waiting to be used up.
And you see this philosophy play out in the book's main event. They call it the inversion. It's not some random earthquake or volcano. It's the planet actively changing itself, almost like it's taking a deep breath. It's a sign that the Earth is a living partner, and this so-called crisis is actually an invitation to form a new kind of relationship.
And then you compare that to the rendering economy. This is not a natural event. This is a system that humans built. It's society's solution to scarcity. And it's the ultimate result of that dead matter worldview. If people are just resources, then, harvesting them for parts is just brutally efficient.
So you have these two completely opposite realities. How do people even act in them? Well, let's look at the main characters, because their roles perfectly mirror their world's philosophy. They basically become archetypes for two totally different ways of being. Just look at the difference in their tools and what they're trying to do. In the Salt Meridian, they're using maps and ink, tools for connecting and understanding. But in the body harvests, the tools are a recorder and a scalpel. They're for exposing things, for taking them apart. The character's entire purpose is shaped by their world's deepest belief.
And this really gets to the core of it, doesn't it? In one future, the heroes are trying to listen and connect. In the other, their job is to document and take part in consumption. Their whole identity comes down to whether they see the world as a partner or just as something to be devoured.
Okay, this philosophical divide goes even deeper. It affects something as simple as the act of writing things down. In both of these futures, keeping records is crucial. But the reason they're documenting, that reveals everything.
See, in the Salt Meridian, the archive is a team project. It's all about saving memories to build a future with the planet. It's a tool for growth. But in the body harvests, the recordings are just evidence. And evidence isn't meant to build a future. It's meant to be an indictment of the present. It's a weapon, designed to shatter illusions.
Sorel, the archivist, he is the perfect example of this. His job isn't to be a judge or decide what's right or wrong. It's just to preserve everything, so the future can have a complete picture of its past. His archive is like a bridge across time, and it's built on just one idea, saving it all for the sake of connection.
And then there's Sira, the harvester who becomes a documentarian. Her goal is the absolute opposite. She doesn't want to preserve things for the future to understand. No way. She wants to expose everything for immediate judgment, to force everyone to see how they're all part of the horror, and to destroy any idea that anyone is innocent.
So, where do these paths actually go? One world is all about connection. The other is about confrontation. These completely opposite ways of looking at reality and humanity, they lead to two profoundly different endgames.
And these are the two final results. In the Salt Meridian, the ultimate goal is connection. Humanity makes it by becoming part of a much larger living system. But in the body harvests, the endgame is complicity.
Humanity survives,
Yeah,
but has to face the cannibalistic truth that its whole society is built on eating itself.
To put it another way, one future totally redefines our place in the world. We aren't the masters, we're partners. The other future offers a horrifying clarification. We never actually left the food chain. We just turned it inward and became our own livestock.
And that really leaves us with this final question, doesn't it? The Salt Meridian gives us a hopeful, if really difficult, map to a new way of being. But the body harvests, it just holds up a dark mirror, forcing us to look at the ugliest possibilities in our own systems. So which one do we need more right now? A vision of what we could become, or a stark warning about what we already are?